Hi, music teachers. Welcome back. We are going to take a quick tour of the Soundtrap studio just to familiarize yourself with the different areas of the studio so that you can help instruct your students on where to find things. I am going to make a student-facing video. This is for you specifically. It's going to include some additional information, but if you would like to show your students a video, I'm going to be making a student-facing video as well. Again, this is for you, for your knowledge. It's going to have some information that you may not necessarily want to share with your students just to prevent them from doing specific things. So once you are in Soundtrap, this is kind of the home page. The first thing that you want to do is let's go ahead and enter the studio. So here it is on the side. There's that big white button, and that will take you into the studio. So here we go. Let's click on it, and it will take us right in. So it's just loading. I have been telling all of my students, no matter what, to click music because this is music class, and there's not really a lot of differences between the two, but for us, we're just probably going to be using music more. So let's go ahead and click on music. That's the purple one, of course. And then you can kind of see the basic setup. Very kind of similar to other systems that use editing software for audio. So obviously right here you have just a quick tour. You have at the top here kind of your timeline area to show you, what part of the song you're at. This is kind of a quick way to access some different functions. Up here is where it's going to show you your song title when you get one. It's going to show you that it is going to automatically save, which is really, really wonderful for students. Over here on the side is where you will add a new track, one way to add a new track. At the bottom here, we have, this is going to be the tempo. If you'd like to turn the metronome on or off, right now it says off, but it is right there. You can turn it right back on. Here's some setting functions that we're going to go over in just a moment. And then, of course, your basic, record, stop, play, go back, go forward, that kind of stuff. Also, your volume control on the side. And then this sort of main area over here where we are going to be accessing loops. I'm going to show you how to make comments on student work and also how to share different things. So let's get started with a really, really basic thing. We're going to just start out by adding some loops. So I do this with my students. It's really simple. You're going to go over to the corner here. I recommend starting with loops because it is pretty easy. And so I tell them to find the 2/8 notes. There they are. It's the top purple button on the right hand side. Click on it, and it's going to give you these series of different loops in here, tons and tons of different ones. So if we're going to start maybe a basic project, maybe we're going to start with drums. Really easy. You can just have them click on drums, and it will all bring up a list of all these different drum sounds. So if you want to, you can do a couple of things here. You can preview. So if I click the play button, it will preview the song, or the little loop, and you can decide if you like it there. Maybe you know that you love it, or if your students want to heart it, again, this is going to be up to your discretion. If you want them to favorite things, if you want to show them this little function here, you can click the heart and it will have them favorite it. The way that I like to add things into the timeline is just by dragging and dropping. So I'm just going to scroll through here. You can see there's many loops. Find one that I might like, and then I'm going to start by just dragging and dropping it onto the timeline. It's going to automatically play for me. If I want it to stop, I'll either hit stop or the space bar. That's a quick shortcut. So this orange thing just came up at the top of the timeline here, and you're probably wondering what in the world this is. What this is going to do is it's going to loop the loop. So it's going to only play this particular section of the loop. If you do not want that on and you want it just to kind of continue playing over and over again, all you need to do is go over here to the side. You can see there's this little orange circle with a kind of a turn back symbol, and then you can click it and it will turn that orange off. I think that it's really easy to have this turned on because it's just to make sure that when you get to the end here, what will happen, you'll see if I press play, it's going to pop me back to the beginning. So they're only working in this little section. But again, don't have to turn it on. I'm going to turn it off temporarily right now. You can also see that here now it's going to be added to the side. If you want to get fancy and you want to have them rename things, you can go over to the 3 little dots here where it says track options. And you can have them either rename it, duplicate it, so on and so forth. So if you want to have them name different things, maybe you're doing a project where you want them to do a drum loop, a bass loop, and a guitar loop, you can have them name the particular track, drum, whatever. So very easy to drag and drop. Then you can go over to the side. You can also search for something specific. So maybe I want an acoustic bass, or maybe I want an upright bass. So I can actually start clicking over here on the side where the loops are for upright bass, and doesn't seem like it has anything specifically under this, but you can also just search for all kinds of different things. But I like to just use these buttons. I think it's the easiest for the kids. So I'm going to click on bass. Again, preview something that you love or that they love, and drag and drop it in. A really cool function with Soundtrap is it automatically adjusts the key, and it also adjusts the tempo so that everything matches. That's something that, other different softwares, maybe like GarageBand, do not do. So if I hit play over here on the actual timeline, it's now going to play in sync together, which is really, really nice. Again, if you want to adjust the tempo, maybe you're doing a project on tempo and how that affects, the song, go over to the bottom, and all you need to do is click on it, and you can either, speed it up, you could slow it down, you can type in, a specific tempo, and then it's going to say, do you want to adjust the tempo? Yes, we want to adjust it. Okay, so you can see that the adjustment's been made, and then it changes. Okay, so that's really, really cool. I don't remember what this was at, but I'm going to put it back at 150. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's really simple. You just drag and drop. And let's say that the project is finished now. All they have to do, it automatically saves. I like to have them title it. They can title it whatever they want, because I'll show you this in a minute. It will actually show you who created it. So you don't have to have them put their name, maybe have them title it the project or whatever, if you're just having them go from scratch. Okay. Now, if they are just popping into the studio like this, you don't have access to their creations that are just like this unless they do something called share. So this would not be how you would do an assignment. You wouldn't just tell them enter the studio. I am going to do a separate video on creating assignments. This is just kind of a basic overview of the functions. So I can click on share over here, and once I do that, then I can type in an email, or just I think you can type in the name. Let's find out. Let's see if I share this with Bridget. What happens if I just start typing? Actually, it might not share. It does. So here she is, Bridget Deffen. I can just start typing in their name. So if your students are creating something not from a template, not from an assignment, then you can have them make sure and share it with you. And then you can click invite, and they will have access to it. Once all of that is done, you'll be able to see it stored in your library. So let's call this, just for fun, I'm going to just call this test run. Just so that you know what we're looking for. And then when you are finished, when you're ready to get out and look back at your other projects, you can go over here to exit. But before we leave the studio, I want to show you a couple of really fun tools that you can use on the teacher side of things. So first thing that I want to show you is that you can actually leave a comment on your students' work. So let's say that they had this particular area, the drums kicked in. I'm going to move this over, or the bass kicked in, and you said, we want to make sure that, one instrument's playing at a time, whatever your project is. So what you can actually do is you can comment on the student's work. So to do that, what you would do is you would come over, and it might not let me do that because this is not students' work, so I can show you in a minute. There's no comments on here. I think it's not going to let me. Oh, no, it does. So what you want to do is put your cursor wherever you want to leave the comment. So here, maybe the bass is too loud or it came in too soon. And you will see over on the timeline that this little comment box just popped up. So what you can do is click on it, and you can literally make a comment at this particular part. You can say the bass is too loud, or please choose a different instrument, whatever, and send them that comment, and it will actually post to their work, and they can go in and they can fix it. That's a really cool feature that I like a lot about Soundtrap. So that's kind of the basic things for using Soundtrap. If you need specific help on how to do different functions, then I can go into that a little bit more in detail. In terms of editing, it's pretty basic. It's very similar to GarageBand. You can extend the loop by having this little loop-de-loop come up. You can extend it out, make it go really long. You can bring it in, make it go really short. If it doesn't get any shorter and you only want a part of it, you could move your little timeline cursor here, place it where you want. I'm going to do a 2-finger right click, and I'm going to say split region, and now I have 2 pieces here. So maybe I only want the first part of this. I can actually delete it. So there's a lot of other editing functions. I'm not going to get into those specific editing functions right now, but if you have questions about that, then I'd be happy to answer them. So once you're completely done, you can exit the studio. One other quick note up here is if you want to go backwards, maybe something you want to just undo, there's an undo button at the top. And then again, to exit the studio, it is over here in the corner. That will take you back to the main page. And you're going to see that right here at the top, I have this test run. And you can see that I can invite people to it. I'm the owner of the project, so on and so forth. It'll show you when it's modified, including your students' accounts. So that's a basic tour. I'm going to go over, again, I'm going to make a student-facing video at a different time, as well as a video regarding how to set up an assignment. So stay tuned for those, and let me know if you have any questions.